Welcome back to the Common Room. That was Tenacious D Tribute.
To the greatest radio show in the world. Look into my eyes and it's easy to see. 1 and 1 makes 2 is the place to be. It's destiny.
Went longer than I thought you would go with that.
Yeah, I thought about going through the whole song, but you know what? I can't think of how to change the lyrics for the whole song.
What topic have you brought to the table today?
I want to talk about this job service providers. So today, I had an online interview.
Mm-hmm.
An online interview. Have you ever done an online interview?
No, I haven't.
So this one, it's not like a Zoom interview. It's not like you record a video and then submit it. This interview is, you have 30 seconds to read a question, then you have a minute to answer the question, then you move on to the next question and you have 30 seconds to read that question.
That doesn't sound like an interview. Far out.
This is the interview they sent me to do.
What? That's not really an interview then.
It's not. It's like a torture situation. It's like questioning. It was like the most stressful thing I've ever done.
What was the job?
This is just a job as a delivery van driver. Oh, exciting stuff. So you need to know your way around technology.
I'm a courier. That's essentially what I do.
Oh, this one's in a van. I'm afraid. It's a step up.
But
basically, you're doing these questions, and you start with a practice question, and like, oh no, it goes straight into this questionnaire. Like when you follow the link, it goes straight into this question.
What is your bank account details?
And it goes, tell us a bit about yourself. This is a practice one, so no one will see you. And you're like, it counts down. You can see the time counting down. You're like 59, 58. And you're like, I really better get ready for this interview I'm suddenly having in my pajamas. I better actually put some clothes on. So you put a shirt on and you're like, okay, so it's done the practice one. So you click on.
So you got to do it. So they're filming you while you're doing this.
It's filming out of your camera. It's
what the heck?
Picking you up through your laptop.
But then there's no one even talking to you.
No, it's like you're shouting into the void, going, "Please give me a job. Please give me a job."
Do you have to type or do you have to say it?
You have to say it. You're talking to your camera, and you can see yourself in the corner, and you can see in your eyes like you losing the will to live halfway through a question. Oh, it's awful. So I've got my shirt on, and I click next to the first question, and it says, "What do you think this job is about?" or something like that. And you go, okay, you have 30 seconds to read that question. 30 seconds is like a deceptively long amount of time to read a question, but it's like not enough time to actually
I think this job is involving driving a van.
I think it's going to involve driving a van, and like all you can hear is your own voice in like.
Oh, jeez, that's a horrible situation for you. You hate the sound of your own voice.
I hate the sound of my own voice. Or you can see yourself. You can see the desperate look in your eye as you try and answer these questions. Like you feel like a pawn. Like you feel like a pawn in some great game of chess, and you've got to say the right thing or you're going to be killed by the night.
I'm glad there was no like big ethical question. Like if a train was going at 100 miles per hour and it was going to hit one person on this side of the track and 100 people on the other side, who would you?
I think I would have preferred that because that's like an answer you can actually answer. When it's a question like, what experience do you have? It's like, I have to like
fit that in 30 seconds.
I got to mentally think about it, and then it'll suddenly come up saying, it is recording now, and you go, geez, I think I am qualified to do this job. And this is, no kidding, my first response was me answering the question. So I think this job will involve, and I look into my eyes in the corner of the screen, look into my eyes in the corner of the screen, and I can just see like the panic in my eyes, and I go, this is going awfully. And I say that out loud in my minute interview. And let me tell you, listeners, that I have amended that for radio. There was some swearing in it. Imagine in a job interview, if you hear the person talking to you and they suddenly goes, "This is going absolutely dog poopy." And you're like, imagine that. The interview's looking at you like, what are you talking about? And then the minute time's out and you're like...
So you don't have an opportunity to do it again?
Oh, no. I was desperately trying to go back and re-answer that question. The one where I didn't realize, like, your first record is your last record. This is it. That is your only chance to edit it. I'm like, oh, gosh. Well, I might as well do the rest of the 4 questions. And like every other one's just tainted with the looks of, I've just said this is the worst experience of my life. Question 1. And like a minute is sort of a long time to fill with.
Please tell me you're going to get this. I'll really laugh if you've gotten this job.
I really hope I do, because like the pain of going through it was like torture.
I really want to know what other people's responses were now. Like if you were like, "Oh, this is dog crap," I wonder what others were like. Oh crap! No, it's recording. No, I haven't got my makeup on. No, oh. No.
Oh, so hitting that link makes it record right now. Oh, and you can see the timer running out. And when you hit like 30 seconds, you're like, I haven't actually made a point yet. I've just gone, I've reread the question now.
What if your like pet suddenly walks in on the interview or something?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, it's not going to be easy.
Oh, it'd be hilarious if your
everyone.
mum suddenly just walked in. Ashleigh, we're ready to.
The doorbell goes. It's like, Ashleigh, I've come round for tea. Have you got tea ready to get the kettle boiled? I'm like, I'm in my underpants, of course, because I've only just put a shirt on. Because I'd get up and you'd reveal that underneath I haven't even bothered to put pants on in this interview. It was the worst experience of my life. I'm glad I told them.
I just like imagine someone being really professional, right? They're like prepared for it, they've answered everything, but then just on the last question, a big dog just comes and licks them on the cheek or something like this. And as you can see, I'm a lovely family person.
The last question was, what are your hobbies? And I'm like, wait, what are my hobbies? I don't know. What am I doing at the moment? What am I doing with my life?
I don't like doing anything.
Do this radio show. I think that's basically it in my life at the moment, because it's such an empty void of everything. Next question, please.
Well, the thing is, in real life interviews, you can, and not many people know this, you can ask them to go back to a question. You can say, do you mind if we come back to that question? I just want to think about that.
Oh, yeah.
You can say that.
In a regular interview, you can jump back and forth with things when you suddenly remember, oh, actually, no, I have done that because I've got experience doing this. And, like, you can get them to repeat the question, rephrase it in a way that's not so confusing as, what do you think this job entails? Like... what do you mean? Like,
what if
my
you've got like a really
or
bad webcam though? You know, like those really grainy ones.
I would have so much preferred that rather than looking like the desperate look in my eye.
What if your microphone's not working and you don't know? Because I've been in like Zoom calls, right? And I've gone to speak and I'm like, oh, microphone's not working. Then I've had to work out how quickly.
Or the internet drops out and you're suddenly talking like a I think I'm qualified to do this job because I've got good
my experience
skills.
My experiences include.
You know, next time I'm just going to do that because they're just going to fill it in with what they want to hear.
Maybe if you wrote them down, then just like showed the camera.
But the thing is, you don't know what the questions are. That was the other terrifying thing of it. You get 30 seconds to read that question, and that's the first time you've seen that question. I mean, it's like normal interview questions. What do you think this job is? What are your hobbies? What do you want to bring to this role in terms of safety? I'm like, in terms of safety, I have no idea. Let me think about it.
What about the ones? Tell you what, they can really test you if you know the company. I've been thrown like, what do you know about the company? Like, I'm glad that I've researched that one. I'd hate that question in that situation.
That's such a curveball question to get, and like. If you're on JobSeeker, which I am, you have to apply for a lot of jobs. You can't research that many companies. Like, I'm on 8 jobs a month I've got to search up.
I thought you said you were working 8 jobs a month. I'm like, well, far out. Someone's a bit greedy.
I've got to apply for a minimum of 8 jobs a month at the moment. Yeah. It's like a lot to research if you're going to research properly.
Far out. That's terrifying. I wonder if
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
So I've been on this for about 4 months.
Yeah.
8 jobs a month. That's 32 jobs. Mm-hmm. How many of those do you think were brought to me by my job service provider who's actually getting paid to help me find a job? How many of those 32 jobs
would I expect them
to provide?
At least 28.
At least 28. They've provided absolutely nothing. I've got no job suggestions from my job service provider.
Okay. Either your job service provider is rubbish.
Yes, they are. Yes.
In our opinion. Or...
Yes.
They're like that busy with that many unemployed people.
Well, if they're that busy, like, they can do a group email. Like, I haven't heard anything from them. You have to go into the office and say that you're doing your duties and all that, and they give you advice, and that's the idea of it. I went in there, I was in and out in 3 minutes, and 2 of those minutes were in the waiting room.
Yeah, I've had situations like that.
It was sign a bit of paper, how's it going? Well, not that well. I haven't heard back from any. How about you try expanding what you're looking for? I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I didn't think of that.
Why don't I try applying for jobs when applying for jobs? That's a brilliant idea. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're going to get whatever commission you're going to get when I finally get a job.
It's like when
regardless of what they offer you.
It's like when you're waiting at the doctors. Have you ever waited like 25 minutes in the doctors and you're in and out in like 30 seconds? What's wrong? What's wrong with you? I'm sick and need a medical certificate. Here you go, babe.
At least that makes sense. They want you in and out because they're actually doing a service for you. These guys are doing nothing for me.
We better leave it at that.
Before I start getting worked up like Brayden does about this.
This is a good episode. This is passionate.
Useless.
You're listening to The Common Room on Unicast.